team where we thought it was one of the hotter teams here in the WNBA, and suddenly this is a team, and James Wade will be the first to tell you this, they had missed opportunities against Minnesota and definitely a missed opportunity against Dallas.
But you try to turn every negative into a positive, and I think the players are looking at that as a good wake-up call, good to happen now and not into the future in the playoffs where you're lacking that energy, that good start. Get that out of the way. Now this guy has experienced that. Now they know what they need to work on.
Stu Dew jumping up against Brittany Griner, and the tip goes to Phoenix. Lonnie Mitchell handling it. What a season Lonnie Mitchell has had. One of the best seasons of her career. In great shape and coming off of an injured season in 2018. That's a tough defense on her.
I think Lonnie Mitchell is definitely up near the top of the list for Most Improved Player award in the WNBA this season. She's tripled her points, rebounds, doubled her assists. I mean, she has really come and played for Phoenix this year.
Wave to the camera here, Jantel. You're on the screen because we got to do that promotional thing that you love. The injury report.
She has a royal wave going.
I'm like, I might as well have a good
Jantel,
time.
tell me you did not just do that.
She did.
I had my head down because I got to read my promo here first. The injury report is brought to you by the University of Chicago Medicine, the Chicago Sky's exclusive medical partner.
You were practicing that.
I mean, I was just like, I might as well have fun with it since it sucks to be, mentioned on the injured list.
Well, yeah, it's never fun to be injured, but you're making the most of your time, right? Yeah. Or maybe this is punishment to sit over here with us for the third game. That's yet to be determined, right? The first two there of the game for DeWanna Bonner. Speaking of really good seasons, DeWanna Bonner, when you go back to when the first time that Phoenix played Chicago, she was in the conversation for MVP. The numbers that she was putting up this year.
Well, she was leading the league in scoring for a while, but she's still number 3. I mean, Phoenix has the number 1 in Griner and number 3 in Bonner scores in this league. It's unbelievable the points that they can put up.
Griner misses her first shot. That'll be a challenge, with Jantel as you're sitting here. Obviously, the story of this team is with you being out a little bit depleted in the post position as well, and you could see that. You were there. They're on the road at the last time a week ago when Chicago took on Phoenix, and Brittany Griner certainly was a major factor in that game.
Yeah, she came out hot. She was just ready to play from the jump, and we just never got full control over her.
Steph Dolson knocks down the 3, and here comes Diamond to shields the pick and the 2. Diamond looking to get out to a hotter start than what she has in the last few games, and a better first half than she has really when you go back to the last 2 or 3. Diana Taurasi, 0 for 20 from 3 this year. That is a stat I never thought I would see with Diana Taurasi.
Well, this is an unusual year, obviously, for Taurasi coming off of major back surgery and trying to be healthy for the playoffs. So she is still trying to find her groove.
Here's Bonner again. Already a really good pace between these two teams. Diana Taurasi came back in mid-July to try to come back for this season and actually suffered a hamstring on top of that back injury. So had to sit out a few weeks after that through the All-Star break. Sloop, to Tolson. Oh, that was pretty.
And you see the kind of attention that Sluty generates. Brittany Griner having to come over because Sloot's so good at getting to the basket, finishing on those layups, and she just threaded the needle so well for Dolson. All she had to go was up and in.
That's like a post player's dream, isn't it, Jantel?
Most definitely. Courtney gives you the ball, you're right there at the basket for the score or the shot.
Already 2 assists here for Sloot. How about a 3? Not that time. Sloot needs 14 more assists to break her WNBA record of 8.6 assists per game that she set last year. Already has, again, the single season record in terms of total assists for the WNBA. She set that just a couple games ago against Minnesota.
Ooh, they missed. Yes, Stu. She was wide open under the basket.
They find Dolson again for 2.
Really good finding Dolson on the roll because Brittany Griner has to step up because she has to honor Courtney Vandersloot's 3 there, and that just gives Stephanie a wide open layup at the rim.
And that just goes to show you the movement and how well the ball is popping for the Sky. One player open, don't get him, but you find another player wide open. The Sky has a nice, comfy lead here, 11-4 with 6:14 left in the first quarter.
basketball is powered by Wintrust, proud to be Chicago's bank and the official bank of your Chicago Sky. Wintrust, built here for here. And by Aerial Investments, slow and steady wins the race. And by Magellan Corporation, proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. And presented by the University of Chicago Medicine, the exclusive medical provider of your Chicago Sky. Use Chicago Medicine at the forefront. All right, we've resumed action out of that timeout. A Stu Dew with the bucket to give Chicago here the 13-4 advantage. And a turnover here for Phoenix gives the ball right back to Chicago. Dew with the turnaround is short. Bonner was challenging that time. That's length versus length. Taurasi looking inside. Griner draws the foul on Steph. Deep into the lane and deep into her position. That's one thing James Wade said cannot happen tonight.
I feel like once Griner gets that kind of position on you deep in the lane, she is almost impossible to stop. She is so tough. She's got great footwork, Gentella, and awesome moves. She really does have the whole arsenal.
I think that's the toughest place in transition to guard both players because you can't run down the middle of the lane, get position early. And a lot of times your players kind of running alongside. So when you have a player as dominant as she is, you have to meet her, bump her once she hits half court so that she doesn't get comfortable and doesn't get that easy position in the lane that deep.
Do you feel like you almost have to out-physical Brittany Griner, just keep pushing on her and pushing on her and tire her out and maybe frustrate her a little bit?
Most definitely. You have to just keep bumping her. Like it's a consistent effort to make sure she doesn't get in a position where she can just turn and see the backboard as easy as she can because she is so tall. So it's consistent work throughout the entire possession.
Almost had a backdoor look there for Quigley. She pulls it back out and then decides to take it right inside. Yeah, got it. Allie.
What a finish there. And just seeing how quickly Allie Quigley can get herself to the basket off of a screen there. Really compromising the Phoenix defense. And you see how Diana Taurasi having to step in there, help kind of reach a little bit. And Allie just does such a nice job of finishing with the contact.
That's the first on Taurasi. Allie can't make good on the and one, but another opportunity here for Chicago. Dew, how about a three? Yes!
Chicago, like, we're not coming out like we did in that Dallas game. We're coming out hard, and we're going to have that sense of urgency from the beginning of the game.
This is certainly the start that Chicago fans who have come into Wintrust today was hoping to see. Give another two to Griner.
And that's what you don't want to see. That was way too easy for Brittany Griner. I mean, Diana Taurasi just lobbing it right to her. All she had to do is catch, turn, and shoot.
Diamond flips it. Cheyenne Parker coming out of nowhere.
And here's an opportunity, guys, for the Sky. You see Cheyenne Parker, that a Stu Dew bucket came off of an offensive rebound. Phoenix, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, which I do not understand. They've got Bonner in there. They've got Brittany Griner. But here's an opportunity for the Sky to be able to score some buckets off of offensive rebounds. Cheyenne Parker did a nice job being aggressive inside.
Hand off to Diamond, being guarded by Breon January. Nowhere to go. Tossed it away. Bonner. Mitchell. Griner. Nice fast break.
I mean, they're just looking for her in that spot. That's her little territory, and they're just lob it up, and Griner's going to go get it. It doesn't even need to be a perfect pass.
Transition is so important. She's running to the rim. Somebody has to get a body on her. That's if Cheyenne's offensive rebounding, somebody has to come and make sure she doesn't get under the basket.
Quickly read that perfectly. The pump fake at 20-10 advantage. I think I might smell there's a great three there. The first three of the game for Phoenix, for Essence Carson. I was going to say, I think I might smell even another group text coming up at halftime from Chantel Lavender about how to defend Brittany Griner. Sloop. Parker is just challenging and attacking the O-boards.
Crashing the offensive boards. That's a good sign, but on this side, not a good sign how easy it's been for Brittany.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. 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 2 minutes
You just can't lose sight of where she is on the floor at any time. You have to be a magnet to her as a post player. Like where she goes, you go. No matter what she's doing, you have a body on her. Even if she has the ball, just stay connected the entire possession.
DeShields into the lane. Takes the contact, doesn't matter.
I think for a big body like Brittany Griner, I think she runs the floor well. She's athletic, and her timing is impeccable. She knows kind of where to position herself in transition to be able to be in the right spot for a good pass.
Essence Carson with 5 points now off the bench. Remember, part of Phoenix's story is their injuries. Scoop! All the way! The Sluty scoop! And one!
That's what I've liked about Chicago all season is the way that they can come right back after a big bucket at the other end and just beat everybody down the floor, force the defense into a compromising situation, forcing the foul there, and a nice take by Sluty and recognizing that was open and to just go ahead and attack the rim.
She had 19 points against Dallas, her third best scoring game this season. Wasn't good enough. She knew it, the team knew it. Needed to be a better team collective effort. We're seeing it here today. Starting with the defense here with Chicago, giving it right back. Carson, Mitchell, again, Griner. That time Parker's there. Somehow, wow, Griner came up with it for 2.
That's what I mean. Just toss it up there. Just let Brittany Griner go get the basketball, and 9 times out of 10 she will.
Let's check in with Megan McEwen, who's got more on trying to stop Brittany Griner. Megan?
Lisa, last game against the Mercury, Brittany Griner finished with a season-high 34 points. Chicago Sky head coach James Wade says they have to contain her and slow her down. So far, not doing a great job as she has 8 points so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, just picked up another offensive rebound there. Sandy Brondello in the pregame has said, Brittany Griner sees every kind of defense. She's ready for it. That's why she's an all-star, one of the best. She can see it, take it, handle it, and react to it.
I feel like she really forces teams to make a lot of adjustments on her. Maybe you go into a game thinking that you're going to play a certain defense on her, and then you're changing it multiple times throughout the game, just to kind of cross her up a little bit, right, Chantel?
I think you should come in the game and sending bodies at her because she's so dominant down there. You have to put a body on her as you see it with another offensive rebound. She just gives them too much.
If she's not scoring herself, she's giving her teammates more opportunities with those offensive boards.
And about giving her different looks, too. James Wade had talked about the last time these two teams met about 7 days ago. They didn't crowd her as much. They got maybe double team came a little bit too late. Certainly as Megan hit the 1-2, we'll see some different looks. Allie Quigley, a hot hand here to start. 9 points in 8 minutes so far.
And you think to yourself, okay, well, maybe you let Brittany Griner get hers mentality, but then you got to worry about DeWanna Bonner, and now you got to worry about Diana Taurasi. A lot of weapons on this Phoenix team.
I think one thing with getting yours is making getting yours super hard. Yeah. It's having a concerted effort to not allow her to just get easy baskets. If she's going to score on me, she's going to score through me, through my face. She's going to lead with her elbow because I'm connected to her.
I like that.
Getting fired up just listening to you, Chantel. I
think a fight's going to break out soon.
I wish you could play with one
Chantel's elbowing me over here.
I wish. Because I'm like, I want to go out there and double team Rose.
There she is again. Turn around and the soft touch. She's got so many shots in her repertoire, too. Now 10 points. She can do the turnaround. She can do a soft hook. She can do a 15-foot jump shot.
Nice.
Reverse there for Diamond DeShields.
Courtney Vandersloot saw a little bit too much Brittany Griner on there, and then she did the smart thing and found Diamond DeShields. Last split-second decision there by Courtney Vandersloot. She's so good at those.
Griner couldn't handle the entry pass. A little bit too high.
Good job of the school.
We'll take a look here, and Courtney said, no, Brittany, thank you. But finding Diamond DeShields, and that's credit to Diamond, because a lot of people, when somebody's going to the basket, just stand and watch, and Diamond's still moving, still trying to get into position, because she knows that Courtney Vandersloot can get her the ball at any given moment.
Kayla Alexander has checked in for just the second time this year. Put up 3 minutes a couple of games ago against Minnesota. Griner again. Oof. 12 points. 5 of 7 shooting. One of the reasons maybe why Kayla Alexander has come in is just as, you know, she provides at the very least 6 fouls here for Chicago at the post position. Dolson sitting with 2 fouls right now. And the pickup is made, and Kayla connects. They're going to review it. Giving her the points right now as the quarter clock came to a close. And they'll review it here in the break. Right now, it stands 32-29. Turner. Yvonne Turner, you be the judge. 0's on the clock. Is it still in her hands?
Looks like the ball's still in her hands with 0 on the clock.
All right, we will take a break. The officials are looking at it right now. Give you an update around the other side. Ariel Investments is a proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. To learn how one of Chicago's most experienced investment firms can help you save for your future, visit arielinvestments.com. You can follow them on Twitter @ArielFunds. They took away the bucket from Yvonne Turner. So Phoenix now has 27 points instead of 29. Off and running here for Bonner. Pump fake. Off the glass for 2 with 2 defenders challenging.
It's a key stretch here for the Sky again. James Wade starting a quarter with all reserves on the floor. I checked that. Diamond Shields is in this game, but 4 out of 5 players here reserves for the Sky.
We've seen him do that pattern before, in particular at the start of the second quarter.
And with some very good results. This has become a very deep team, a very confident team with reserves who come in and feel like they can make major contributions.
Here's the Shields. Copper.
Watch out.
Challenging up.
Man, Kalia Copper showing some speed there, but just not quite quick enough to beat the shot clock.
I mean, that was close.
It was.
Instead, a shot clock violation.
And that was all Kalia Copper and her speed.
Could have been one of the prettiest buckets that will never count. Going up against Brianna Turner out of Notre Dame. Playing her way, perhaps, to get on the all-rookie team this year. Switch happens. DeShields comes back. Here's Turner.
It's a strong move inside. How nice to have that coming in off the bench for Brittany Griner.
Parker takes it. Goes right at the rim. You cognizant of that, Chantel, when you got a rookie defending you?
Most definitely barrier. I think Cheyenne felt that. She was like, I want to get that ball and I'm going to the basket.
Yeah, she was determined there for sure to get to the rim.
Neil Little. Nothing but net on that attempt. She's 35% from back there. Last couple of games. Shooting about 70%. Gabby gives it up to Kayla Alexander. First bucket at the Chicago Sky.
This just has the feel of a playoff game. These are teams that could be matched up in the first round of the playoffs. I think the crowd gets that. The players get that. I'm liking the intensity that I'm seeing out of the Sky a little bit more. Both these teams playing hard, entertaining basketball right now.
Kayla Alexander had a couple of free throws in that Minnesota game, but that's her first basket. Makes it 36-34, and she will take a seat, but some nice minutes that she put in there off the bench. 3 of them. Kayla Alexander, who wasn't kept by the Indiana Fever at the beginning of the season, was waived. And Diana Taurasi, actually, that's her first 3 of 2019, if you can believe it. 0 for 20 before that shot. And Bonner bumped up a little bit too much against Dolson. Diana Taurasi Actually, they did not credit her with 1 3-point attempt. So she was 0 for 19. I don't want to make it worse than what it was before that shot. 0 for 19 before that shot, but certainly someone who's trying to get back into the conditioning phase. As we mentioned, back and hamstring injuries, Diamond almost got an and one off the tip.
Yeah, point being that she's not shooting the way that she normally does. But that's actually the kind of situation that scares me the most, because a player like Diana Taurasi can just go off on you at any given moment, can get hot at any given moment. I don't expect her to be struggling with her shooting for very much longer, Chantel.
Most definitely. I think that even though she hasn't been making her shots, she's out there for a reason, because she's facilitating the offense. And she's that leader that they need. And going into the playoffs, it's huge to have her on the floor.
And not only the numbers that she can produce, but the kind of attention that she draws from the defense. If you've got a Diana Taurasi on the floor, I don't care if she's 0 for 20 or 20 for 20. She is going to command a top-notch defender. She is going to command attention. And she gives your team that swagger.
Here's a smart tip you can fast break with. Smart thermostats make saving energy easy. ComEd is offering a $100 rebate on select smart thermostats. Learn more at ComEd.com/rebates. Tied at 37. Phoenix coming in as the 8th place team in the league. Chicago as the 5th place team. Both of these teams are thinking, as we heard from Megan at the top,
3-on-1.
a playoff spot, a home playoff spot. Copper can't get it. DeShields with the putback. Taurasi all into the lane.
Guy doing a great job of capitalizing off a good defense, a steal, and then a bad shot down at the other end, both resulting in sky baskets. That's what you want. You want to have your defense kind of dictating the tempo of this game and letting the offense flow from there.
Taurasi gets the shot off, but there was a whistle before the shot. Maya Forsberg calling the foul on Kalia Copper. If you think this is a high-scoring affair, you would be thinking correctly, by the way. 41-37. 6 minutes still left in the second quarter. By the way, it was the highest-scoring first quarter of the season for Chicago. And since 2016. Remember, they're a team that put up 42 against New York in the fourth quarter. But Phoenix right there as well. Oh, what a shot. How do you stop that, Chantel?
Just stay in position like Stephanie did. I mean, there's really nothing you can do about it. You just don't want her to get that comfortable throughout the game.
Do against Little. Absolutely got hacked on that attempt.
I think that, number one, the Sky has got to do something to try to prevent the incoming pass to begin with. Somebody's got to get in front of Brittany Griner, make it tough for her to catch a pass. I mean, she can do so much with the basketball once she has it. I thought that was going to be an air ball, a really bad shot. She ends up hitting the shot, giving the Mercury some life here. Sky clinging to a 2-point lead, 5:53 left in the second.
DeShields with 9 points here tonight. Megan McEwen, you got more on a little milestone that she's approaching.
That's right, Lisa. Today, if Diamond DeShields hits the 21-point mark, she has officially reached 1,000 career points in her career. And how crazy is this? She's only in her second season in the WNBA so far. 9 points.
Yeah, and James Wade talked about the fact that she has constantly matured, not only from year 1 to year 2, but really from game to game. That's something you see up close and personal, Jantel.
Definitely. I can attest to it, because she, in the beginning, you know, she sees the basket as a young player. When you come into the league as a rookie, you like score. But down the line, when you talk about championships, that's when you find your teammates in situations where people know your game and you try to get other people involved in the game. She's done a great job of that.
James Wade said, I'm not comparing her necessarily to Michael Jordan, but just her approach, and the fact that he's watched, you know, those famous Chicago Bulls teams, and the way that Michael would let the game kind of come to him a little bit and try to, as you're saying, involve his teammates first and then try to take over a little bit, might be the reason why some of her first halves haven't been as productive as some of her second halves. Carson gets the bucket.
I think one of the most interesting things about Diamond DeShields is her confidence level. I feel like even as a rookie, she came into this league with a ton of confidence. kind of not afraid to voice that about herself and some of her goals, and wanting to be one of the best players in the league, wanting to be a go-to player for this team, and she has lived up to that, and she's backed it up with the way that she plays. And anytime that you can come into a new situation just feeling very confident about yourself, I mean, that's half the battle right there.
I think a part of it, too, is her, playing in Europe, playing in Turkey for her, the beginning of her rookie season, playing against WNBA players, getting a feel for the style of play that she would be facing in the WNBA.
Yeah, that was big. Beautiful backdoor look. Meanwhile, Steph finding Sloot. Usually it's the other way around. Sloot finding Steph. But that'll work as well. Turnover. Sloot leading the break. Perfect pass. Timing. To finish it off.
Sky lately has been doing a great job of creating some disjointed offensive possessions for Phoenix. Some bad passes, some turnovers, and they're capitalizing on the offensive end.
Connor got hit from behind on the tip opportunity.
And when you can force Brittany Griner into a bad shot like that, everyone has to team up and create kind of that seal to prevent offensive rebounds from happening. And check out scoring here off of the missed shot at the other end. It's good basketball.
If Chicago can secure that rebound and Bonner doesn't get that foul, I think Stephanie did a good job at the beginning of the possession of making Brittany Griner catch the ball off the block where she wasn't comfortable, where she's actually looking to find some of her teammates instead of trying to score the ball.
Two playoff teams has a little bit of a playoff feel. Final home game of the regular season. Just a week left here in the regular season. Chicago will go to Connecticut and to Washington to wrap things up. You have to wonder if both of those teams, if they secure one of the top 2 seeds, they'll play all their players. Do! Shut her down! No! A foul call. She got some ball, but she might have gotten some body there too.
Powerful play by Stu Duke coming over in the help situation. Feeling like she got all ball. Fans here don't agree with the call at all.
And Jantel shaking her head.
I think it was all ball. It was a clean block. I mean, a lot of times players can sell that by falling on the floor, but she looked like she got all ball to me.
Do you see that kind of emotion from her? Because the fans are now seeing it. Do you see that all the time in practice from a student?
Yeah, most definitely. She's such an intense player. Like, everything she does, she wants to score, she wants to win. She's passionate. I mean, she plays exactly like that in Europe, too, so it doesn't surprise me that it's starting to come out now.
That's right. You see it overseas, you see it at practice, and what we're seeing right now is a tie game. 46 all as Phoenix has made a little bit of a charge and sees some of the momentum here in the final few minutes of the second quarter.
Courtney Vandersloot headed to the bench, and she was frustrated. She slammed the ball down. She wants this guy to defend Brittany Griner better. We've got a tie ball game here. 3:53 left in the second period.
Sky fans, enjoy up to 10% off at the Yard Bar located inside Hyatt Regency McCormick Place before or after every home game. Just show your ticket stub. Hyatt Regency McCormick Place, the official hotel partner of the Chicago Sky. Megan McEwen eavesdropping on the last Chicago huddle.
Chicago Sky head coach James Wade incredibly frustrated during that last timeout. He says the Mercury getting way too many offensive rebounds. At the moment, they have 4. He says to his team, you have to box out. You have to want it more.
Yeah, just like he said, I think a lot of times teams come in here and they hone in on offensive rebounding, knowing that the Sky hasn't been doing a great job of boxing out, so they have to really fix that in order for them to not allow Phoenix to get those momentum shifts.
13-13 in terms of the rebounding total between these two teams. That'll count that time for Turner. She got her bucket taken away at the end of the first quarter. Maybe that'll make the difference here down the stretch. But right now, Phoenix with the 3-point advantage. Quickly. Can't get it. Oh, we got a foul on Griner inside the lane.
And that's what we've been talking about, Jantel. That's what we've been wanting to see is some pushing of Brittany Griner. Make her frustrated. Make her fight for the position to the point where, in that situation, she fought back hard enough that now an offensive foul on her is a Stu doing a good job of being physical with Brittany Griner.
As a post player, you don't want someone constantly touching you. As a person, anybody, you just don't want someone always touching you. So when you're trying to do something, move, maneuver, and someone's all over you and you're trying to get position, sometimes it's natural to just throw your arms. So you need some of those plays sometime in order to get her out of her comfort zone.
Du gets the layup.
A nice sequence there by Stu. A big defensive play down at the other end. Scoring an easy one on the offensive end.
But after the bucket, a violation on the Chicago Sky, a delay of game call.
Does Stu touch the ball afterwards?
Forward, bodying up with Dolson. Look out. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Dolson, too much contact from behind there on Brittany Griner. That'll be number 3 on Steph.
I think Jantel and I were talking about this before the game. Brittany Griner kind of feels like she's picked on a little bit in this league. She's so big. And sometimes the bigger players, the refs are kind of always looking at them, and they don't always get all the calls they feel like they deserve. Here's a little bit of a balance. Previous possession of Stu picking up the offensive foul on Brittany Griner, but then Brittany Griner here getting a call in her favor. A little bit of a balance there.
Before Steph leaves the court, Steph talked to Mike Forsberg about it. Have a second career as a lawyer, I think, maybe. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. For more information, visit ibjirehab.com. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, move better and live better. Never at a loss for words is Steph Dolson.
She isn't, but here she's in a little bit of trouble with the 3 fouls, Lisa, and that's not good when you need as many fouls as you can get throughout the course of this game for Brittany Griner.
With the quick shot. Under 2 minutes to play here before the half. We got a conversation with Allie Quigley coming up with you, Trish, at halftime. And she walked with it. Turnover, Phoenix.
Yep, we talked playoffs. We talked about the potential of meeting this team again. What the Sky needs to do to be ready, playoff ready. I think this team is very cognizant of the way that they played against Dallas on Thursday and the fact that they weren't intense enough. But yet, Allie telling me they don't want to dwell on that too much.
Oh, yeah, time to move on.
Yeah, basketball is a quick turnaround. You have a game in a couple of days. You can be mad about it after the game, and then you got Phoenix coming in here today.
Chicago had played a ton of games when you go back to even last Friday. Just a week ago from last Friday, I should say. But James Wade not using that as an excuse in terms of the fatigue. All these teams now across the league in terms of finishing up the regular season, bunching up some of these games. Ooh, what a pass. A missed assist opportunity. Turner couldn't get it, but on the point pass from Diana Taurasi. That was pretty. Floater from Allie.
Allie does such a good job of looking off her defender to make them think that she's going to pass the ball, and then that's when she just goes up and scores.
Frustration down in there at the other end for the Sky defensively. Just too easy for Brittany Griner.
Cheyenne Parker just goes up and rips that ball down.
love seeing that.
That's the type of plays you need.
If we had a camera on Chantel right now, she got a smile from ear to ear watching that. Seconds. 3 in double figures here for Chicago. 12 for Dew and 11 for Quigley and DeShields. And a foul there on the floor. Meanwhile, Brittany Griner has 20 points for Phoenix, 20 of the 53. Both of these teams could reach the century mark here today if we keep this pace going.
Brittany Griner wrapping up Vandersloot, but also being very sure to make sure that everybody knows that she meant no ill harm by it. Kind of giving Courtney Vandersloot a little friendly bear hug at the end there. I'll tell you something. I think Brittany Griner gets a bad rap. I saw her before this game sign about 25 autographs in a row, take about 15 selfies with people in a row. Very generous with her time for this game.
Final few seconds here before the half. Turner crossover. Oh, can't get it off in time again. Entertaining first half. And a 1-point advantage for Chicago.
I like the feel of this game, guys. It has a playoff atmosphere to me. The crowd is into it. I mean, we've got a 1-point game. You cannot get much better in the last week of the season than what we're seeing right here. Except for maybe defending Brittany Griner better.
Most definitely.
Megan is standing by with Courtney Vandersloot.
Brittany Griner right now, 20 points. Coach Wade talked about how you slow her down. How do you stop her productivity?
Well, Brittany Griner is, she's the best center in the world. She's hard. It's tough to guard. Whenever we're a little aggressive with her, we seem to pick up some fouls. So, I mean, we got to find a way. I think we're going to, talk about it at halftime. But when it comes down to it, she's one of the best players in the world. So that's Brittany Griner for you.
You came out on fire in the first quarter. Slow down a little bit in the second. How do you pick up that offensive productivity?
Well, we got to get stops and get in transition because that's when we're at our best. Once Brittany started scoring, it slowed us down a bit, and we aren't scoring as much. So, we're just going to make adjustments, try and get some stops, and keep this at a high-paced game.
Thanks, Courtney. Lisa?
Megan, Courtney, thank you very much. Can't wait to see what the second half entails. Two playoff teams playing like a couple of playoff teams. There's the wave. Jantel, do better in the second half. 1-point advantage here for Chicago. Basketball is powered by Wintrust, proud to be Chicago's bank and the official bank of your Chicago Sky. Wintrust, built here for here. And by Aerial Investments, slow and steady wins the race. And by Magellan Corporation, proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. And presented by the University of Chicago Medicine, the exclusive medical provider of your Chicago Sky. Use Chicago Medicine at the forefront. Your score here at the half, Chicago 54, Phoenix 53. As I said, they're on pace, both of these teams, to put up 100 here by the time this game is done. Jantel Lavender, Patricia Babcock-McGraw, Lisa Byington with you. Obviously, one of the biggest stories, Brittany Griner, on pace to maybe get 40 points here in this game. She's got 20 at the half.
The dilemma of Brittany Griner and Courtney Vandersloot at halftime acknowledging that she's the best center in the world, and she is, but you still have to find a better way to defend her. It's too easy for her. She's shooting 8 of 11 from the field. That tells me she's getting easy looks at the basket. She's comfortable. This guy needs to try some different defensive strategies against her. Drop a guard down, front her. Send your post on the front her from there. Something has to change with the way this guy defends Brittany Griner in the second half.
Granted, I do think that her touches are much too easy, and I do think that they could have a different approach with making her touches a lot tougher. But I do think their point of emphasis may be that Griner may get off because she is the best center in the world, and maybe have a point of emphasis of stopping everybody else, making everybody else's touches hard, not allowing them to get off because she is tough to guard and she's a load.
Well, here are some of the highlights here for Brittany Griner. She can do that. That's what you talked about, Jantel, on transition, too. Tough to find her.
Well, I think Brittany just has so many different looks to her. The spin move there, falling away. She's got a nice baseline jumper. She can be strong in attacking the rim out of the post. It's a tough guard. It's just a tough person to guard.
Diamond DeShields, one of the highlights here in this first half. She had 11 in 19 minutes.
Well, Diamond getting it done on both ends defensively and then some offense as well. How about that pretty pass from Courtney Vandersloot? And that's what Sluty does. She has got 9 assists already in this game.
The halftime report brought to you by Avison Young, the fastest growing real estate services firm in the world and proud partner of your Chicago Sky. Look at the shooting percentages for both of those teams. 65% for Phoenix, 55% for Chicago, and 17 assists already, 12 assists. I mean, some of the offensive stats are just staggering here to look at. Let's check in now with Megan McEwen for a halftime report.
Lisa, I spoke with Chicago Sky assistant coach Carla Morrow, and no surprise here, the story, stop center Brittany Griner of the Mercury. So far, she has 20 points. She says not only do they need to do a better job just guarding her and beating her to the spot down low, the guards need to do a better job of denying entry passes. Both are going to be a huge factor in denying her the ball.
James Wade came up to you, Jantel, right before the half began. Is there anything you can share about that conversation?
Just pretty much how to make Brittany Griner's attempts tougher. Just making sure he wants to understand that he's missing something in the game, which I don't think he is. That's why he's the head coach. But just trying to figure out what he can do to maybe throw at her, to have a different perspective.
Stu Do, that's her second three-point make. I love the fact, Jantel, and it shows just the respect that he has for you, that he wants to grab your input. With your TV responsibilities, you obviously weren't in the locker room, and that was his opportunity to reach out and kind of pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think a coach that's like him, that is open to opinions and open for players' opinions about the game, they make the best coaches. Like, they want to know, they want to be better, they want to see if someone can give them a suggestion that they haven't already thought of.
Fast break opportunity to Shields. Looked like it was going to ended up being a little bit tougher than what it looked like at first. Now 13 points here in the game.
Well, I remember on media day when I first met Jantel and talked to James Wade about you coming in. I think that was your very first day in Chicago, as a matter of fact. And that was what he kept going on and on about why he wanted Jantel here, not only for the way that she plays the game, but her leadership, her insight, the fact that she's played on championship teams. It was very important for James Wade to bring a player with Jantel's history and experience and perspective to this team. Okay, guys. Again, way too easy for BG.
And that it can be a little tough in that situation because you got Brittany Griner setting a screen on us, Stu. You know, those are post and post. Typically, it seems like it's easy to just switch, but it can be some confusion because post players aren't used to guarding screens or getting screened like that.
Jantel, you brought up the point. Griner had 34 in the last meeting, but Chicago still won that game. So at some point, you know, maybe you wave the white flag and let Griner get her points and just try to contain everybody else.
Let me correct you. Not let her. Make it tough. Make it tough. But, you know, speaking of her being one of the top centers in the world, you have to know that she's going to score some baskets.
Now she's trying three-pointers. Steph passed up the three that time. Steph Dolson starting this third quarter, playing with the third. Oh, is that Allie Quigley or is that a Stu Do?
Well, Stu Do is leading the team in threes right now, so she's playing the role of Allie Quigley very well. 18 points for Stu on 3 threes.
Mitchell is short.
Tough shot by Diamond to Shields, and Phoenix wanting a timeout to figure it out.
They were able to do that in the first half. Sandy Brondello caught an early timeout. In the first half, we'll see what she can draw up here and the things that she can try to figure out. That is pretty, Diamond. Care Health is committed to transforming the health of the community one individual at a time. To learn more about the top-rated Medicaid plan in Illinois, visit IlliniCareHealth.com. Illini Care Health is the proud partner of your Chicago Sky. Allie Quigley's been quiet to start this third quarter.
She wasn't so quiet a few minutes ago, Lisa, because she was talking to the refs, complaining about this no call here Brittany Griner sticking that left leg out, that left hip, and Allie Pugliese demonstrating there to the ref about how that should have been an illegal moving screen. We have seen that call many times this season. We've seen a lot of ferocious screens that have led to players getting thrown to the floor. But if there's a person to politic against, if you're the Chicago Sky, it would be Brittany Griner. Let's get her into a little bit of foul trouble. She's got 2 personals already. It'd be nice to send her to the bench in some foul trouble. That was a hard screen, and I think Allie had a good case for talking to the refs about it.
Nine-point advantage for Chicago. Do the handoff to Quigley, who's going around one of those hard screens there. Parker for 3 is up with the bigs.
Got the bigs acting like the littles hitting those threes. We've got, let me see, 5 threes, 6 threes, making 6 threes among the bigs in this game.
And Jantel, both of their feet are behind the three-point line. As opposed to the Jantel laughing during loss.
Shame on you, Lisa. It's out of love, Jantel. It's out of love.
Oh, blocked by Bonner. I had to throw that in. It's our last game together, Jantel. Yeah. It's all out of love.
Well, all of them aren't long twos. I have some threes on this season.
No, you do. I think at least 2 or 3.
Is it that way?
It's no. Our research staff is checking. Checking.
Granny's got diamond to shield on her and just shoots right over the top of a much shorter diamond.
We phoned a friend. You had 6 threes made this year.
Wow. Not as high as I thought. We got so long too.
But put both of those feet behind, like Parker did there.
Cheyenne eating that up. I love the facial expression. Love the emotion. These are the kind of situations that can just light up an entire team.
Guys, we're at 70 points already with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Carson goes down. Phoenix still has it. Here's Turner. Foot on the line. That's a 2. Sloot from the wing. Close.
Basket feeling extra big. Phoenix wants another timeout. The Sky at 55% shooting, and James Wade is psyched up. His players are psyched up. I love the energy we talked about at the beginning of the game, you guys. Would this team bring the effort? Would they bring the energy, the sense of urgency? And they have really put their foot on that pedal. They've kept that pedal down. I like the intensity that we're seeing on the Sky.
Megan McEwen, you've got more on Cheyenne Parker.
You mentioned how important scoring off the bench is going to be in this game. Cheyenne Parker just hit a 3 to put up 10 points today. That marks her 4th straight game in double-figure scoring coming off the bench.
I've talked about it before. I feel like Cheyenne Parker has herself in the running for 6th Woman of the Year. There are a lot of good candidates out there. Hamby from the Las Vegas Aces, I think, it is the leading candidate for that. But Cheyenne Parker has just been phenomenal off the bench. She has accepted that role happily. I mean, she's just got a great attitude about it. You see the emotion and the fun that she brings to the game. And she has been playing her best basketball, I think, in this last month.
It's also promising for a coach going into the playoffs, knowing that you can have some scoring and some confidence coming off the bench.
Turner into the lane. Dude kept it straight up.
But I think that is something that James Wade established early in the season, having that confidence in players coming off the bench. He really feels good about his reserves. Reserves like Cheyenne Parker just adding to that point total.
And she's just feeling it now, just taking that Griner. It's like it's no middle ground with her. Griner doesn't want to come out to guard the 3, and driving her once she does come out, because Cheyenne did hit those 2 threes, allow Cheyenne to get to the rim and get an easy bucket.
There's a turnaround.
And you know, we haven't talked about it much, but that's a good tactic too, a good strategy for defending Griner is make her work on the defensive end, make her exert that energy on the defensive end, and by attacking her and trying to score on her, that's going to put some stress on her offensive game.
Most definitely.
A three from the wing for Diamond. There's another rebound for Griner. How can you tell she doesn't want to defend the three?
Because a lot of times she's big, you know, and it's nothing against her because she is the top center in the world offensively, but her feet aren't as fast as shorter players. So it's natural for her to want to stay back and play against players that aren't three-point shooters, but also once she gets a little taste of someone hitting threes, it's like she starts to come out because she doesn't want them to hit another three, but then that opens up another.
But all the bigs want to be guards, right?
I enjoy being a big, so I can't speak for other people.
I mean, Liz Cambage is just saying that she's a point guard in the league. She did. Yeah, she did. Turner.
But I think that that's just the natural evolution of basketball, where you see that this positionless basketball, and coaches want their bigs to, like you, step out and take a long-range shot that spreads the entire defense. It spreads the floor for your offense. And so we see a lot more bigs shooting outside shots now.
Oh, Parker, so close. Griner at 6'8", doesn't even have to jump. She swatted away.
She got the last rebound without jumping. Cheyenne Parker, she's saying, my fault on that one. That was a tough miss there because that looked like it was going in all the way. But yeah, I see Brittany Griner just grabbing it off the rim without barely even having to leave her toes.
And she can play so much with one hand, too. You've seen her, at least even tonight, ripping down a rebound with one hand. She takes a shot sometimes, makes a move just with one hand. Deflection, turnover, or is it? Phoenix comes up with it. They leave Turner alone on the wing. 6 points in 11 minutes off the bench for Yvonne Turner, the former Nebraska Husker product. Undrafted many years ago, has made her way into the WNBA. About 2 minutes here to play. Diana Taurasi getting set to check in. Mitchell got Quigley. And that was just inside the three-point line, so I think we have 2 free throws coming up.
Smarts by Quigley there to recognize that Alani Mitchell all over her. Shot clock winding down. I'm sure that she draws that contact.
Now they are going to review it to see if it's 2 free throws or 3 free throws. And evaluate where the foul exactly was committed. So we will take a look here. Allie's so good on that kind of that hop step, but she's got her toe on the line there. They called it a 2-shot foul on the court, and they're conferring. I'd be surprised if they don't. Yep, they confirmed it that it is going to be 2 shots for Quigley. At M&M Limousine Service, our employees and chauffeurs understand the importance of delivering exemplary service throughout every ride, whether your destination is 20 minutes or 2 hours away. M&M Limousine Services will assure you are in control, on time, and enjoying your journey. Allie's been sitting on 11 points. Sandy Mondello has talked about just the 3 guards for Chicago. Allie Quigley, Diamond DeShields, Courtney Vandersloot. The fact that you shut one player down. You know, Allie hasn't scored in the 3rd quarter, but you got the other 2. And not only that, but they play so well together.
Very unselfish. They're always looking for each other. I think that starts with Sluty and just her mentality. Very team-oriented player, always looking to set up her teammates first. That has rubbed off on this trio of guards.
Diana Taurasi has the 1 3-point make here tonight, and that's it. Copper nearly had a fast break. Diana Taurasi has played 16 minutes. Sandy Brondello says she's about at a 25-minute restriction right now. She'd like to get her up to about 28 minutes next week.
It's been interesting to see her kind of take a little bit of a back seat in this game. It's just unusual. You're not used to Diana Taurasi being this quiet.
Offensive foul call there on Turner. Megan, you've got more on Diana.
That's right. Well, coming into this season, Diana Taurasi is the all-time leader in the league in three-pointers made. And coming into today, she had yet to make a three-pointer on this season. Obviously, that streak broken earlier in this game. Chicago Sky head coach James Wade says he knows she's going to get going soon. He just hopes it's not against the Sky.
Yeah, we've seen DT get hot all kinds of times in her WNBA career.
I think that's what makes Phoenix a little bit of a wild card in the playoffs is what will happen once Diana Taurasi starts to get more comfortable. This team has kind of been all over the place this season. They've been up, they've been down. They've got two of the best scorers in the league in Bonner and Griner. What's going to happen with Gentile when Diana Taurasi gets her game together?
Well, I kind of consider these like warm-up games for her. You know, like they made the playoffs already. So it's like she's warming up, she's getting a feel for it, she's getting her feet back under her, so you never know what to expect. They've been in the AC a couple of times, and you've seen them kind of splurge to the top playing in the finals. So with her out there, you never know what can happen, and at any moment she can heat up. And in the playoffs, this team can be very dangerous.
Brondello even said exactly what you're saying, Jantel. They deliberately brought her back with about 6 games left in the regular season for that warm-up process. We all know that the foul they're committed on Copper, we all know that basketball conditioning is way different than anything else, whether it's pool workouts, whether it's sprint workouts. It's something that you can't simulate unless you play basketball.
You have to play in games. You have to get up and down the floor sometimes you don't have calls from the refs. So like when you're running and you're trying to get back in game shape, you can stop and start whenever you want. But in the game, sometimes you're waiting for a whistle from the ref, and sometimes it never comes. So that's a different type of shape that you have to be in. There's nothing that can prepare you more than actually playing in games.
Like we were saying earlier, there are so many different things that Diana Taurasi can bring to this team. And this is a proud franchise. I mean, they've been to the semifinals each of the last 3 years. They've been in 3 WNBA finals. They've won 3 championships. I think Diana Taurasi knows exactly what she needs to do to get herself ready and this team in a position to, again, be a contender.
Bonner going at Katie Lou. Player who's got all kinds of shots in her repertoire. She can take you down in the post. She can hit a half-court shot. So talented. There's Parker with the finish.
That pass from Gabby Williams, who's seen her role all over the place this season, but mostly at that backup point guard role, and that was a perfect pass to Cheyenne Parker.
Her 3rd assist of the game. Camille Little, way too strong. And another rebound here for Gabby. Ooh, quick hands from Taurasi right into the hands of Quigley. Allie's waving her hands. She was wide open. Copper taking it baseline. Ooh, Little with a block. Parker again. 3 times empty-handed. Third quarter. 13-point advantage for James Wade and the Chicago Sky. 79-66. 10 more minutes to come. At Midtown Athletic Club, we have the best of everything under one roof, and every place you turn at Midtown, there's something to get your heart rate up. Don't settle for anything less than everything. Join the official athletic club of the Chicago Sky. Learn more at midtown.com. Cheyenne Parker, certainly a difference here for Chicago tonight. Put up some numbers, 14 points, 5 rebounds.
She is giving the Sky that punch off the bench that really hasn't been matched by Phoenix. She's showing her versatility, Gentile, being able to shoot outside, but also being strong inside.
She's scoring the ball. She's just being aggressive, and I think that's what the mentality is when you're coming off the bench. Come in, give that spark of energy, and that's what she did to surge the Sky up so many points.
Parker with 14 points and 5 rebounds. And one of the reasons I keep saying that I think that she is in that mix for 6th Woman of the Year, 7 of the last 10 games have been double-figure games for Cheyenne Parker. She's had 6 double-digit rebounding games this season, 11 double-figure games. And Steph Dolson, and we might see more of Cheyenne Parker with Steph Dolson picking up her 5th personal foul.
Right now she's in the game, and he hasn't gone to his bench yet. 5 personals. Steph battling Brittany Griner all night long. Final home game of the regular season. Katie Lou Samuelson gets some playing time here in the second half. 8,845 in attendance. Watch this high-scoring affair back and forth between Phoenix and Chicago tonight. Dolson, left alone, connects. Give it to the bigs from behind the line tonight.
We're starting to see the Chicago Sky team doing one of the things it does best against Dallas the other day. They did not hit three-point shots well at all, but now 8 of 19 from three-point range.
Oh. Who is this going to be on? Because if it's on Steph, she's out.
Well, that got a little chippy there in the post between Steph Dolson and Brittany Griner. Arms were flailing. They're going to need to review
They're
this
giving it to Steph Dolson. Initially, they're giving her the foul. That would be the. So they're giving the foul to Steph Dolson. She's fouled out of the game. They're going to review it to see if there's anything on Brittany Griner.
I don't know how you determine that for sure about Steph without taking a look at the entire play first.
Because that fouls her out of the game, which doesn't allow for her to come back in and be a factor for the Sky.
I think this entire play needs to be under review before any decision is made.
Where is the foul committed for Steph on that play?
I mean, I don't. Only I can think of is that she was kind of grabbing Brittany on the front side, but I don't even think that was hard enough to be a foul.
No, I mean it was a small contact with her chest, but I didn't see anything with her arms. Her arms were up. She wasn't using them as much. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with from this.
This is huge here with 8:57 left to play. We got an explanation coming. The foul on Steph Dolson, we are told that the foul is confirmed. There is a technical called on Brittany Griner, so Chicago will get one free throw. And so Steph Dolson out of this game, fouled out with 10 points. She'll have to sit out basically the last 9 minutes now.
And we're told that she was using her foul, Steph was using her hands to defend illegally in the post. That's why she got that 6th foul.
Again, we appreciate the explanations from the officiating staff here today. It's Katie Lou Samuelson. And we'll take the free throw. Of course, they could. Steph Dolson unavailable to take the free throw in that kind of opportunity. So Cheyenne Parker has checked in for Dolson. Jameer Faulkner.
And this is why it has been so important that James Wade has been giving reserves like Cheyenne Parker a lot of minutes, and why she feels good about herself, because she is going to have to come up with some big minutes here in the fourth.
Step to a move for Bonner, gets her own miss, reverse style, can't hit it. All reserves right now in for Chicago. Faulkner out to Gabby Williams. Copper nowhere to go against Turner. 4 to shoot. Copper right past her. Ooh, she put on the Turners.
She had that same exact move along the left side in the first half, and she just missed on the shot clock, but there she capitalized.
Griner. Nowhere to go here for Faulkner. Almost getting double teamed there in the backcourt. And the foul committed there on Bonner. That's her third. The team's first of the quarter. January putting some pressure on against Faulkner, who doesn't have many minutes here tonight. Williams against Taurasi. Oh, she got the foul and the bucket.
UConn against UConn. Newer UConn against older UConn. I like that. Gabby Williams say, "What you got, Diana Taurasi?" That is a tough make by Gabby Williams.
This whole season, she's been trying to find her way because she's not used to playing one. So just in opportunities like that, she just has to do what she does best at other positions when she can and just break a play and just go and make a play.
A unique player that really can play 1 through 4. January getting the high screen against Griner, tried to snake it through, turned it over instead. Faulkner leading the break to Copper. Takes it inside and draws the foul. You wonder if that exchange between Griner and Dolson kind of lit a fire under Chicago. They're just playing with a little extra oomph to me, it seems like, in the last minute.
I think so. I think that they've been playing with oomph all game. They did not build a 22-point lead here by accident. I mean, they have been fired up. They've been emotional. They've been intense. They've withstood really good shots by Phoenix. This team came to play, and you said that you noticed it right after the game on Thursday. There were not some very happy campers in that Sky locker room. They were angry.
Most definitely. They're answering the call, though. I think Chicago is the best in transition, and they're getting stops and they're converting them on the offensive end.
Sloot out to Copper for 3. She hits. She's as hot as those hot pink shoes she's wearing tonight. 7 points, 12 minutes off the bench. A couple of big buckets. Parker went for it. Bonner will go to the line.
Parker has a little bit of latitude, even though Steph Dolson's out, and it's important to keep Parker on the floor. That was just her second personal. Cheyenne Parker, she has every right to go after those shots. She's one of the best shot blockers in the WNBA. I think she ranks 11th in the league. Very good at timing her shot blocking attempts. Good ups. Does it without fouling much of the time. Steph Dolson just trying to figure out, how do I keep myself in game without fouling? Because that is going to be a key for the Sky down the stretch here into the playoffs.
Could be approaching here a season high in points, too. 91 right now. Still just a little under 7 minutes to play in this one. The no-look pass to Parker. Sloot gets another assist.
Parker is loving it. Who does she go running right out to? Sluty. Thank you so much. You are making my life so easy, Courtney Vandersloot. Sluty with 12 big assists in this game, and she just makes it so easy for her teammates. Cheyenne Parker now with 14 points in this game, appreciating the passing of Courtney Vandersloot.
Again, she needs 14 more assists to break her average from last year. 8.6 is what she had. And the argument is there, again, for MVP. Is it the most valuable to your team that gets that award? Is it the best player in the league that gets the award? If it's most valuable, Courtney Vandersloot is certainly up there. And if you talk about the best point guards in the league as well, she is in that conversation.
She is the engine to this team. I think that it's the player, for me, that makes their team better. It's the player that, if they're not on the floor, you feel their presence miss. Because a lot of players in this league can score a lot of points, but making your teammates better is another gift that, to me, Courtney just possesses that a lot of players don't.
She's got 13 assists and 9 points tonight. Again, the next assist, she'll break her own assist per game average. Sloot to Parker. Could that be it? Copper will take it and make it.
As a coach going into the playoffs, seeing how Cheyenne's out there playing dominant and Copper coming off the bench, it has to feel so good knowing that this is what you can expect coming into a playoff game, going against a team that's going to be great in the playoffs. It's huge tonight.
Trish, did you notice that Jantel keeps scooting up like inches and inches to the edge of her seat? That she's getting excited watching her team play like this.
Well, every person in this stadium should be excited watching this guy play. And it's really encouraging to see that they are playing this well after what I thought was a terrible loss against Dallas. I did not feel like they played well at all. And so for them to respond like this in such dominating fashion, I mean, hats off to this guy, because they really did a quick turnaround. They've got a 25-point lead with 5 minutes left in this game.
The game brought to you by Aerial Investments, a play we just saw. So pretty, we got to show it to you twice. Sloot, no look, Condon, Cheyenne, Parker.
Well, you know when you make a basket off of a nice pass and you kind of just point to the person who passed you the ball. This merited a full-out hug of Courtney Vanderson. It was such a pretty pass. Cheyenne Parker appreciating that. She's got 16 points in this game. And Courtney Vanderson with 13 assists.
She's got the warm-up on. She's one off of her record. She's got to do it tonight. Jantel, go tell your coach.
I am. She has to get in to break that record.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
With a 25-point lead, she might not be coming back in, though.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be it. That could have been her last assist for the night.
13 assists isn't too shabby.
It's not, but she needs one more. She'll probably get it in, like, I'm guessing, the first minute of the next game. Carson. Season high, by the way, for Chicago. 101 points against New York back on August 7th. Reserves in. They could be in here for the final 5 minutes, depending on how this one goes. January knocks down the three. So it was a 1-point game at half. What changed?
I just think their attention to detail versus Griner. She had 20 at halftime, and now she only has 24 points, which is a great game for her, but it shows that the Sky paid more attention to making her touches tougher.
I remember we saw times when Cheyenne Parker was bodying up on Brittany Griner, forcing her out of her comfort zone a little bit, switching up how she was defining her. Maybe sometimes she was coming over the top in the post. Sometimes she was behind her. I think that the Sky just mixed it up. Mixed up the defensive looks on Brittany Griner. That was huge.
And also, I think another point that you don't really point out is that they started attacking her on the offensive end, which makes her sort of kind of a liability because they were making a run. And in that run, that was when Cheyenne got about 6 straight points versus Griner.
Yep. We talked about putting some pressure on her on that other end to kind of tire her out a little bit.
Sky's the limit when you plan a party at the Saks Recreation Center, a 100,000 square foot facility to meet your event needs. Saks Recreation Center, the official training center of your Chicago Sky. 97 points here for Chicago. January for 3. Battle for it. Carson doing a great job keeping it alive. All reserves in for Phoenix, too, by the way. January and Turner. There is Turner. Sancho Little's in, as is Carson. And Sophie Cunningham, the Missouri product. Copper can't get it. Here is Cunningham. She's got 50 people in attendance here today. Some old teammates, family, and friends. It's a nice little trip that they can make from Missouri on Labor Day weekend. Little, blocked by Parker. Off and running. Here comes Chicago. To Gabby. Katie Lou. Katie Lou, once again, will get the foul.
really controlling her body as to not cause a foul in that situation. The thing is, though, Jantel, is that the Sky, with the win here today, would be 3-0 against the Mercury this season. And Cheyenne Parker getting a well-deserved big round of applause as she comes out of this game. But you're 3-0 against Phoenix, but I really do feel like, we still got a full week or so of the season left to go. And I think Phoenix will be a different team in about a week. They're going to be more gelled with Diana Taurasi back, so you can't get too overconfident. It's easy to look at this win and say, wow, the Sky that really took it to Phoenix, but the last thing that you want to do is ever overlook a team, and especially a team that is kind of evolving as the season ends here.
Most definitely. And I think in the playoffs, it's going to be different because a team can also react to a new player coming back. Even though Diana's been with Phoenix for her entire career and won championships with them, I still think that her getting intertwined into the mix late can kind of throw off the chemistry a little bit, and her getting to gel with her teammates a little bit will make them a different team in the playoffs. If the Chicago Sky do face them in the playoffs, I do think they'll definitely be a different team, but they still know what to expect from the players that are on the floor.
And sweeping Phoenix is not something that this franchise has been known to do, right, Megan McEwen?
Hasn't swept the Mercury since 2013. And what's perhaps most impressive, they swept a team that has 2 of the WNBA's 3 leading scorers in center Brittany Griner and forward DeWanna Bonner. Bonner only held to 12 points tonight. She averages 18 on the season, and Brittany Griner only held to 6 points in the second half after going off for 20 in the first. Lisa?
Yeah, certainly a couple of the reasons. From the difference between a 1-point advantage and well in control is a 20-point advantage here for Chicago. We got another timeout here to come, 2:26 before this one is complete. The X Factor brought to you by Wintrust, proud sponsor of your Chicago Sky. A lot of choices here. We went with Astu Du, the 18 points, 7 rebounds.
I think Astu really got herself going early. She hit a few 3-pointers, showing the range in her game. And I have been so impressed with her ever since that she's taken over your spot, Jantel, as a starting center. I think that she has just played so well and with so much confidence.
Yeah, for me, I would pick an X factor for the beginning of the game and then the end of the game. First half and versus second half. And Astu was definitely the person who kept them, Chicago, in the game, kept them rolling, was scoring, making her threes, slotting up, and really finding her way early against the Mercury.
So who is it for the second part of the game?
I got to go with Cheyenne Parker. She came in extremely dominant and just really was a force defensively and offensively. She just gave the Sky that surge of energy that was needed in order for them to get this win and bounce back to that Dallas game.
Well, maybe there's other awards we can give Cheyenne Parker before our broadcast is complete.
Maybe.
Look out. A little bit of jawing back and forth. They separate the teams after this. They will again head to the monitor, take a look at the extracurricular. It's Brianna Turner right now whistled for the foul. That's her second. Always gets a little testy when Phoenix is in town.
Kalia Copper might be in a little bit of hot water there. I like the fact that she came in right away to try to defend her teammate, Gabby Williams, who got leveled.
Looks like Sophie kind of initiated a little bit of contact with that shoulder walking by. You don't have to bump into a player like that.
Yeah, to me, it looks like a little bit of equal pushing between Sophie Cunningham and Kalia Copper. We got an explanation coming. So we have a common foul that was committed against Gabby Williams, and then after that, we have a double technical foul, one on Sophie Cunningham and one on Kalia Copper. We're also doing a good job officiating this game, huh? Getting some of these calls, or at least agreeing with with the officials here tonight.
Everybody's having some fun. The fans, the bench.
Chicago deserves this.
Yes, they
to
do.
enjoy a win a little bit and savor it. They've, missed the playoffs, as we heard Megan say at the beginning, like for 2 years, right? And so to get there, to not only get there, but now have the chance to play for seeding, to be excited about it, to be one of the best here in the WNBA this year.
I was honestly really worried about this game. Based on that Dallas performance, I wasn't sure, and that was a second straight loss. I wasn't sure where this team is going, and I'm extremely happy with the way that they have responded. And they've got 2 really tough games coming up, guys, on the road at Connecticut, at Washington to end the season. Now, those are games in which you win those games, and you're going to be jumping up in the seedings for the playoffs. So those are huge games. But now, after the way that they played here today against Phoenix, I feel like those are very winnable games for this guy, even on the road against the number 1 and 2 teams in the WNBA.
You don't like to make excuses versus teams, but I think sometimes you have a tendency to relax against teams that you feel like aren't in the playoffs, aren't going to make the playoffs, and teams that you have beat 2 times already previously in the season. So I'm not trying to, make an excuse for them, but they played against Phoenix. They know Phoenix is a playoff contending team with Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, the line of honor. So you have a tendency to naturally play a little bit harder against players like that.
Foul committed on Jamira Faulkner. That's her first. 101 points. If you heard the extra roar of the crowd, here was the bucket that got him over the century mark.
Leah Copper now herself in double figures. That is 6 players in double figures. If Courtney Vandersloot was still on the floor, she has 9 points. Could have gotten 7 players in double figures.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Wow.
7 in double figures.
That's when you know teams are having a lot of fun.
Everybody's scoring. Everybody's sharing the wealth.
Faulkner initiating things. Here's Copper. They've tied a season high with 101. Williams hits. Chicago's got a new season high. 103. Team still learning how to play with each other. Just over a week ago was really the first time they had all their important pieces back practicing, playing for the first time. They got a jump ball. Chantel's calling travel. I saw that on the corner of my eye with your hand motion.
I thought that was good defense by Katie Lou.
In your own unbiased opinion, of course.
Yeah, Stephanie told me I was extremely unbiased, where I'm still a part of the sky.
I was going to say, there's no cheering in the press box, no cheering at the press table. You've been doing a good job of that, really.
She told me, she was like, you are still a part of this team. You say we.
Gabby threading the needle to Katie Lou. That's funny.
Everybody in the media was giving you props for doing that. These were very professional and objective, but your teammates didn't like that so much.
No, they definitely got on me yesterday. Like, it is we, it's us. It's not the Chicago Sky. You're still a part of this team.
Are you going to be okay not being over at the broadcast table after today is done, though, and going back to the bench?
I mean, I'm going to miss you guys a lot.
Oh, we miss you, too. I think it's kind of neat. I said this the first game that you did this with us, that not only that you had the initiative to pursue part of your broadcasting career, but the fact that your head coach said it was okay for you to hop over here for a few games with us.
Because during the game, I don't think he would have came down at the end of the bench and asked me what I thought. So I'm here when he walks. He can see me. So
you look a lot more official now.
Right. We saw James Waite come over to get your opinion during the game. We saw Bridget Pettis, the assistant, come over and get your opinion of the game.
But at the end of the bench, I don't think they can see me. I think I may look more like a coach dressed as the broadcaster.
Well, you're well respected, and it's been fun to have you over here. So we appreciate it immensely.
Thank you.
Final few seconds here of this game. Here's Alexander. Took an elbow there to Sancho. Still down.
Alexander brought in to help shore up the situation in the post for the Sky. And looking at that replay, the fans confused by that call. Hey, what a fun day for the fans. The last regular season home game. The Sky came out from the start and really set the tone. Great offense. So many good moments. And what a rebound game after the Dallas game on Thursday. This is the way you want to go into the playoffs, making a statement.